Alright guys, I don't know if you guys can see me. I'm about a block away from my house right now. This is my first official outdoor walk. Man, first thing I noticed out here is there's a severe difference between walking inside and outside. I'm already tired just from a block, but I'm determined to do this. I don't have any reflectors right now, so I'm just kind of walking so I can see cars as they come. I'm gonna go ahead and strap this onto my head, take you guys with me. Already tired, got kind of sore throat just from all the heavy breathing, but I brought a couple bottles of water, got a backpack with me, I don't know if you can see it. Got these awesome headphones that they don't come out of your ear, and they don't pick up sweat, or they stay in your ear even when you sweat, which is pretty cool. These were sent to me by an awesome guy who ran the Boston Marathon. One of the Canadian bros on here. Pretty cool. Alright, hopefully you guys can see. Alright. Gonna continue on this walk. I don't exactly know where I'm going, but I have a loose little plan. I've been considering doing some guerrilla gardening. So right now I'm just going to be walking around trying to memorize or remember any of the plots that I see that might be suitable for guerrilla gardening. There's a couple nice grassy knolls over here, over on the left. Hopefully you guys can see that. That's a U-Haul place. Not a U-Haul rental, but the place where they make the U-Haul trucks, I think, or at least the beds for them. They bring a lot of people in from Detroit to work here. In the mornings, you'll see a long list of people from Detroit walking over here from the bus stop. They got a long walk, it's like 3 miles, I'd say. But yeah, every morning they come out here from Detroit just to work there. It's kind of crazy. I guess they don't pay too well. Otherwise, people from this city would, I guess, work there. Over here on the right, this is the very outskirts of the trailer park. This trailer park's way back here. They kind of hide us back here. If you don't live out in these trailer parks, you don't know that they even exist, really, because they're so out of the way of everything else. There's one business within a couple blocks of here, and it gets like no customers. It's changed hands like 8 times just since I've lived here. It's pretty poor territory, but people keep buying it. Got a little alley over here. Shoot some dice, knife some people, traditional alley. Alright, I don't know if you guys are going to be able to see much up here. It's starting to get kind of dark. If you can see anything up here, there's a road on the left-hand side, which makes up 11 Mile. That's where I'm most afraid to walk, just because I have no reflectors and cars come through there, and there's a stoplight there, or not a stoplight, but a stop sign, and it's been knocked over more than once by a drunk driver. Novi is a notoriously drunk city. There's a bar everywhere. There's probably more bars here than people. I don't know if it's that bad, but you get my point. Looks like we got a little pool of water from all the snow over here melting. It's finally starting to get nice. We got 40s and 50s all week, so hopefully I'll be able to, keep this up. Got a car coming. I'm gonna get off the road there. Alright. Anyways, I'm saying we got 40s and a couple 50 days this week, which in Michigan is damn near summer. So I'm pretty excited about that. Alright. We just turned onto 11 Mile. This road's definitely off the beaten path. It's got a freeway. I don't know if you can hear the cars, probably not. The sound of this isn't so great, but if you can hear the cars, we got freeway over on the right side. You can't get onto it from here. It's fenced off and everything, but there's a freeway that passes. Woo. Sorry, I'm a bit out of breath here, but got a couple light towers up here. When you go down on 11 Mile, if I was able to walk maybe 2 more blocks, there's a Novi water department. That place is notable because I once had to do 75 hours of community service there. That was in one of the juvenile charges I had. I was a bad kid. Had done some vandalism. Kind of a funny story. I was walking through the woods with my friend Robbie. There's a lot of woods over here. I decided not to go through them today because it's dark. I don't really know them anymore. But there's a lot of businesses over there, and they're building this new business, and they had a bunch of porta potties over there. And you know, we were kids. We just like to walk around, break shit. You know, just like boys like to do at that age. Maybe not the well-behaved ones, but we like to do that shit. So, you know, we always like to carry little things like, we found a tire iron in some old abandoned car. We like carried that around thinking we were cool. Anyway, there's a construction site. They were building this new buildings, and there's a porta potty sitting there. And I thought it would just be hilarious to knock over the porta potty. So I did that, and one of the guys who was working construction on it that we didn't know was there saw us. And he came over and he started talking shit, calling us punks and thugs and, you know, all this shit. And we were just being smart asses, threatening him, you know, brandishing the tire iron like we were attacking with it and shit. So he drove away. But we felt like we had been disrespected like some idiots, and we went to the hardware store and shoplifted some spray paint. And the guy's license plate had been from Illinois. So we go back and we spray paint the shit out of this building that they were building. You know, brand new building. They were putting in windows and shit. We spray painted, you know, fuck Illinois. And we made a picture of him, some bald guy. And we made a picture of him getting his head busted with a tire iron. We broke all the windows in this place. They had this huge sliding glass double door. And we just decided to be hilarious to just, bam, smash that shit. Oh, car coming. Oh, shit. Alright, so anyway, this huge double glass, sliding glass door, and busted it. So anyway, all this happened. The police, and the next day, I guess, went there. You know, they talked to the guy. He easily identified who did it. And, yeah, that was my first juvenile charge. And I got 75 hours of community service, most of which I did at the Novi Water Department. That's coming up here eventually. I'm never going to make it there, but one day. And I'll show you guys that. Ooh. But, yeah, that was a pretty fun experience, I guess. The water department wasn't that bad. All we had to do was take out trash. A lot of it. We also had to, at one point, go to the downtown Nova area and pick up trash. That was only one time, thankfully. Most of the time, it just involved, you know, taking the trash out of the bins, throwing it in this big dumpster, and then sitting around for an hour on a picnic bench playing with our phones. Which, as far as community service goes, that's pretty much as good as it gets. So I'll always be kind of appreciative of that place. On some stuff a little more relevant, how the whole, you know, diet, I hate that word, but how the whole diet's been going, the workouts, everything's been going really good, I think. I had that one cheat meal, which was disappointing to say the least. I don't know if Little Caesars changed their recipe, or it just didn't taste good to me anymore. I like to think the latter, but It could easily be the former. So yeah, I had that day, and after that, the next couple days after that were kind of higher calories by my standards. I think it was like 1,400, 1,600, which doesn't sound high, but you know, when I first started taking the Ritalin, I was getting several days in a week where I was being able to hit 800, 900, and I know a lot of people don't like when I do that because, you know, metabolic damage and all that stuff, but I've read some conflicting reports about that. They did, I don't know if you guys have heard of the Minnesota Starvation Project, but they'd taken some guys, it was after some war, and they'd taken a bunch of guys, a lot of them my size, some even heavier than me. One guy started on 900 and something pounds, and they took some normal sized guys, you know, bodybuilder types, and they basically starved them. And they found that there was some metabolic damage. It was less the heavier you got, but even the light guys, it showed something like 15% was the maximum metabolic damage that they ended up hitting. And even the guys who had the maximum metabolic damage still ended up losing more than half of their body weight with this, and it ended up being to where the weight loss from the experiment was way more than what could be negated by the metabolic damage. So, I mean, I know that's just one report, but I thought that was kind of interesting. Not that I'm advocating, you know, starvation diet or anything like that, but metabolic damage is definitely not a top concern of mine right now. Now, my increased calories will of course be helpful when, ooh, a sidewalk. My increased calories will become helpful now that I'm doing this walking. I think I've gone about 2 blocks, maybe 2.5 right now. Oh, I just hit my goal for today, Fitbit wise, but I'm gonna keep going. My goal is to possibly get to Grand River up here. I definitely want to get to the FedEx building, which is up there. I don't know if you can see the big glowing red tower, but the FedEx building's right about there. It's not too much farther. Now I got a sidewalk, and why the hell not? So yeah, this is a new alright, and we're back. Alright, it doesn't look like I'm gonna make it to 11 Mile tonight. Whew, I was a little more tired than I expected. But still, FedEx is a pretty good jaunt. Alright. Let's start heading back. Oh. Comes a car, we'll go ahead and let that pass. Hopefully that's on good. I'm really hoping this footage came out decent. It's always hard to tell. I'm not so great with the settings with this yet. Getting kind of used to it. Especially night. I don't know how it's going to turn out, but it's nice just being able to have it. I don't feel like I'm out here walking alone so much. I got the entire power to miss behind me. And that counts for something. That counts for something big. Whew. Plus, you know, it makes it seem like it goes a little bit faster. Walking out at night with the nice and cool weather out here right now, this is perfect. You know, there's nice, I don't know if you can see that flag up there. There's a nice wind breeze going. Ooh, it would be cold if I was just standing out here, but doing this, it's perfect. It's gonna suck in the summer when, you know, there's all the mosquitoes and shit. My goal is to, you know, hook up one of those mosquito repellent things that has a fan. It's like a personal one you put on your body or whatever, and it repels mosquitoes from you, supposedly. Some of them work, others don't. The only thing I like about them is they have refill cartridges, and, you know, having to buy those kind of sucks. But if I can get one of those and just strap it onto my backpack, I think I'll be good to go. You know, doing it at night, for me, it's perfect. Because, you know, I'm starting to get out in public more, but I still prefer to be alone. I'm still a introverted person. You know, it's not going to change overnight. I don't expect it to. You know, no one can. When you've been a recluse for 7 years, you know, just wake up and like, oh, surround me, everyone. You know, it's just not me. So, you know, starting off at night doing this is a good first step for me. You know, it's gonna help me get used to being out here more. You know, I still see cars pass by. I'm still gonna end up seeing neighbors from time to time. You know, they're gonna wave, they're gonna try and talk to me. I blew off one of my neighbors the other day. He likes to ask me to fix his computer problems, which, you know, I don't mind doing, but he doesn't actually want to pay for those services or anything. And last time he had given me a computer, and I worked on it all weekend because it was an old ass computer and it had multiple problems. And, you know, I got it working for a bit, and then the power would just cut off, and I ended up figuring out that, you know, it was the power supply unit. And obviously, you know, I advised him, don't pay for a power supply unit. This computer is old as hell. This thing won't fetch you $20. You know, this power supply unit is gonna cost 4 or 5 times what the actual computer value is. So he ended up not doing it, but also because, you know, it wasn't gonna be working for him, he didn't pay for services, and obviously, you know, I can understand that, but he also has to understand why I'm not gonna leap at another opportunity to do something like that. But obviously I do need to start becoming more self-sufficient. I can, you know, I'm good with PC shit. You know, software side, I'm almost always able to, you know, eventually, you know, troubleshoot the problem, diagnose it, get it fixed. That part's easy. The hardware side, I'm still learning. I can do most of it. Power supply units still, I can replace them, but it's not something I'm comfortable with yet. I'd really like to, you know, practice on that kind of stuff more with, you know, PCs that I don't have to worry about. You know, doing other people's and practicing on other people's PCs isn't really gonna work because I can't just go and destroy their shit. So, you know, I want to maybe get some old PCs from, you know, fucking Salvation Army, donation ones, stuff like that. Maybe work on those. You know, maybe even go to school for it. But, you know, that's a little bit down the road. Something coming up close, though, is, you know, once I get used to this, start going out in the day. Then once I start going out in the day, my next transition will be to the gym. And a member of the forum, who I'm not going to name because, you know, he might want anonymity, has been in contact with some gyms. One in particular, which you guys aren't going to want to hear, but Planet Fitness has basically all but guaranteed that they'll be able to give me a free gym membership. I know that's no one's favorite gym on the forums here, but, you know, a free gym membership is huge. And, you know, anything that'll get me in the gym, get me to start working on that, will be a huge positive for me. So I'm not really in any position to be picky about what gym I join. And the gyms, not all the gyms here are expensive anymore. Luckily, I was telling you how businesses have popped up in Novi. Well, luckily for me, one of the businesses that's come to Novi is gyms. And we've had 3 or 4 gyms open up since when I was, of a size to go to the gym. When I was the size to go to the gym, we had 2 options. Bally's, which didn't even have a fucking, pool. They didn't really have a lot of things that I would want to use. And Lifetime Fitness. Lifetime Fitness is like, the cream of the crop when it comes to gyms. They have a multi-million-dollar facility. 2 huge floors, 4 lap pools, 2 40-person jacuzzis, steam room in each the men's and the women's bathroom, heated towels, tanning beds, a hair salon, a big family pool with 2 indoor water slides, 2 outdoor water slides. I mean, this place is fucking fancy. And it's a great gym. That's the one I belonged to for a long time, back when we, had money. But the problem, of course, is that to join that gym, there was a $300 sign-up stuff. You had to pay that, like, just first day, $300 down. And you didn't get that back. So I shouldn't say down, just $300 membership fee. And then it was first $75 a month. Eventually, they lowered it to $50 a month. But obviously, that's a fucking car payment, damn near. So that's not really in the question. And those were the only 2 options you had in Novi back in this day. So, the fact that we now have a powerhouse gym, we now have a Planet Fitness, there's a couple other smaller mom and pop type gyms. There's some options. But, Planet Fitness is getting a foot in the door. And, I think that'll be a pretty big benefit to start. Eventually, I might be able to go to a real gym, as I start getting into some real weights, start getting buff. Maybe some real gyms will even want to sponsor me. You never know. Especially, if I show them my original pics where I was, 700 pounds or damn near. That might be something that they would be willing to do. So, yeah, there's some good things on the horizon. Once I start getting buff and ripped, then I'll be more confident. That's the big thing for me, is just getting more confidence. When you're heavy, people who have been really fat know this. And, maybe even some people who haven't been, everyone has their downs and everything, but one of the biggest things for me is self-loathing. When you're this fat, you just hate everything about yourself. And why wouldn't you? You're sloppy, obviously. I know how I feel when I see a fat, sloppy person in Walmart taking up the whole aisle in one of those fucking carts. Fat people, we don't like them any more than anyone else. We know how we feel when we see someone like that, so we know how people feel when, they see a fat person. And, it's obviously rightfully so. A lot of people, they have no one but themselves to blame. But there's also, people who have other underlying issues. But still, obviously, that contributes a lot to the self-loathing. And that's hard to break. There's people who have lost a lot of weight who still have that lack of confidence. Now, thankfully, I don't think I'll be in that group. I think I can get confidence back. I've had it before. I was at least somewhat charismatic when I weighed a lot less. I was never fucking disease or, anything like that, but I definitely, could hold my own in the group, stuff like that. And I think once I go out and, start getting some more group interaction, start doing some more activities. And once I see that, you know, I can have a positive impact on people's lives like they do on mine, they'll come back. But, you know, we'll see. That's all speculation. Hopes, I guess. Goals, maybe. Alright, starting to get close to Sealy now. Sealy is the road where my trailer park's off of. If you remember, when we turned on 11 Mile, whew, that's where we're getting to. End of 11 Mile right here. Whew. And I'm exhausted. Whew. Oh man, these shoes that were sent to me by another member I'm not gonna name, just in case he wants, you know, to stay anonymous. These shoes are amazing. They're breathable nylon, so they really help with, you know, the sweating and shit like that. It isn't really a factor too much. The only downfall is because they're nylon, they're susceptible to water. So as long as I stick to the gravel, avoid water, avoid the wet road, I'm all set. And I could have never